Welcome to a brand new episode of Too Far Talk. I'm Dom.
I'm Jersh.
And it's been a while since I could say that I wasn't addicted. And it's been a while since we've been here. Welcome back.
I thought you were going to go into the full song.
No.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
God. Yeah, so first things first, though, I do want to let you guys know I'm getting over a unknown illness, possibly life-threatening. It's a common cold. I'm getting over that, so I'm very extra nasally and extra goblin-like. I shaved my head down.
We didn't know if he was going to make it.
Didn't know. Already looking like I belong in a, I don't know, really sad commercial.
We spent the last 2 weeks fighting for his life. And
force feeding me chicken noodle soup and Sierra Mist.
There was a couple times there. It was real touch and go.
Do you cry?
Yeah. I can do that.
Yeah. You can just turn on the waterworks?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
You can't?
No, I can't.
You're not an actor like I am.
No.
No, but for real though, he has been sick with a common cold. Not to be confused with the uncommon cold.
Yeah, what is the uncommon cold? Give it a minute.
I don't know.
I don't know either. We need to find that out.
If anybody out there is an expert on
for our viewers that are doctors,
expert on colds,
yeah.
What's the uncommon cold?
What is the uncommon cold, and where can we find it? It's like a shiny Pokemon.
It's hidden in the Arctic.
It's the holographic Charizard Gen 1 borderless, baby.
Waiting for the ice caps to melt down.
It's in an ice cube.
Speaking of ice caps, another reason why we've been gone for the past 2 weeks is because I spent a week in the Bahamas. Has nothing to do with ice caps, but it's quite the opposite.
That sounds like the perfect comparison of how we both spend our time. It's like I'm sick at home, miserable. Meanwhile, Dom in the Bahamas.
Yeah, it was.
Hope you feel better, buddy.
It was warm when we left. Left Florida, it's in America. If you didn't know, when we left Florida, yeah, but it's in America.
No, I know. I'm saying like.
Gotcha. My bad. Most people know what Florida is. That is where the wild Florida man live. Not to be confused with the unwild Florida man. That's just a regular Florida man.
I think it's someone from Miami, maybe.
Maybe that's why I didn't move to Miami. Whenever I was like, I'll get into that.
Yeah.
But no, when we left Florida, it was rainy. Honestly, we couldn't stand on the deck when we left because the fun thing is stand on the deck, say bye to everybody, and I watch you leave land.
Yeah.
We couldn't do that because it was raining. I stayed out there because I was like, yo, it's just water. And then it started raining hard, and I was like, all right, never mind.
I like to imagine you're the only one out there getting rained on.
No, it was like me and like two other people maybe.
Oh, nice.
Everybody else was already inside. So, and then as soon as we got about 10, 20 miles out off coast, sun came out. It was warm.
Yeah,
it was
humid.
It was smooth sailing all the way to Nassau, and then it was sunny and warm. I got braids. Not now.
No, unfortunately. Should have kept them.
Yeah, it's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, it is.
And one thing about me is I'm not going to go out in public looking stupid. So
you don't want to be the 19-year-old chick working at a Spencer's Gifts.
I just didn't want to be that white boy who didn't take care of his braids.
Exactly. The 19-year-old Spencer's Gift chick.
I got a lot of compliments on them. I got given the N-word pass. By a bunch of teenagers who thought it was funny, and I said no.
No. I'm on YouTube now. No.
I thought they recorded me at first. I almost said, "Hey, can you take Dom Delanouche?"
Exactly.
But I wasn't sure if they recorded me. They probably did, so I might be floating out there.
That would be really fun to become a viral sensation in another country. Like I would love that, dude.
No. These were American kids. Like this was actual Lift Nassau and. They were like wilding by the door, and I was like, man, I wish I was a kid still, because back in the day, I would have been wilding just like them, trying to talk to everybody.
Yeah, being extra loud for
no reason. Yeah. They looked like they were having more of a blast than I was, because I was just drinking and I was chilling the whole time. Like I'd go to the smoking deck and just hang out.
I mean, for them, it was probably like the biggest moment of their lives.
Yeah, probably. Man, they're having fun though.
Yeah,
that was the coolest thing about this cruise in particular was that didn't really do a whole lot of eventful things,
Mhm.
but we met so many cool people. Especially up on that smoking deck. We met this couple named Randy Kelly.
Okay.
Shout out, they were awesome. We kept running in, and I don't know, it's just the people you meet. You live different lives, but you also live similar lives, and it's kind of weird how small the world is too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like you meet somebody and they live in like Chicago, but they've been to Valdosta.
Yeah, it's just like blows your mind.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why?
They're like, oh yeah, I took my family to Wild Adventures. Like, you came all this way for Wild Adventures?
Dog. Like, I hate to break it to you, man, but shit, how bad did you want to see a giraffe?
Bro, just you could have stopped at any Six Flags.
And their giraffes are happier. Shit.
I'm thinking about getting a Wild Adventures pass just so I can go look at animals.
Just so you can look at the animals.
Yeah, man.
You know what? Respect.
It's good cardio.
It is.
And
They keep adding to it too, which is
They
always
do.
blowing my mind.
They do.
Like,
And-
we're adding another 200 acres. And it's like, what? Where are you got? What are you gonna put in there? Another kangaroo.
I hope so, man. I love a kangaroo.
I would love a
I
kangaroo.
don't believe in real kangaroos. I think the ones that you see at the American theme parks are fake. Look, I have this whole thing. I
They're
have
just
this,
Australians.
like, I have this whole thing about France, and I have this whole thing about Australia.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna go into the French thing.
We don't. Yeah, we don't need to touch into that.
But I will go into the Australian thing. I don't think Australia is real. There's just
the lizard people.
There's just a lot of shit happens in Australia, man. They have seasons where birds attack you.
I feel like Australia is literally the world's version of Florida and Ohio.
I feel like Australia was God's garbage can where he just made some crazy animals and was like, no, let's put this way over here.
I'm just not feeling this duck-billed platypus. I'm just not.
You telling me this dog looking deer thing that's stronger than you can jump and will fight you?
We'll fight you.
Not
We'll win.
And not only are they will they fight you, but they're ripped. They have muscle. They have human muscles.
Thank you. Okay.
And they won't only swing on you. They'll fall back on their tail and kick you. That is some assassin shit. So I feel like God said, you know what? That's too much for the main countries. Let's put this all the way down here on this island where nobody will ever find it.
Yeah.
And then people found it, and now we have, seasons where there's spiders and trees and everything, spider webs. Man, they have 12 to 15 world's deadliest snakes there.
I feel like somebody, whoever was
Hell.
I was gonna say, I feel like whoever was writing Revelations in the Bible ended up in Australia for a week,
God.
and he was just like, "This is gonna be perfect."
And it's so far away they can gaslight us. Like they can just drive around the Pacific or fly around the Pacific.
If you told me something about Australians and what they do, I would believe it. I wouldn't even question it. You could be like, oh, Australians every Wednesday they go out and they pour Foster's into babies' mouths. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, it makes
Totally.
sense. It makes sense.
I
And
can feel it.
there's badass people. You don't want to mess with Australians.
Yeah, like they're so.
Like I'm glad Australians and Americans are cool.
Yeah, I mean it's really weird because it's kind of like Australians are just British people.
Yeah.
They're just like the rednecks of the British world.
Maybe that's why Americans and Australians get along, because we're both just the weird stepchilds
Of Britain.
Yeah.
We're the empire's leavings, basically.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. Fuck.
Howdy 200, baby.
You can't leave. Watch.
You can't leave.
Watch.
Oh, God.
We'll send a whole ass army. Bet.
All right, good luck getting here. You got to get here first, idiot.
We'll make some friends.
Yeah. And I think the weird thing.
I want to go to Australia is what I'm getting at.
I would too. It's really expensive. When I was in the military, they had training over in Australia.
Did you go?
No. And I'm happy I didn't.
No one.
My bank account's happy.
No one I know has actually been either. So.
Yeah, but I got to talk with a few Marines that had gone,
Mm-hmm.
and all they told me is like it was the most fun they ever had, but
They lying.
They
went to Florida.
No, but the price for like beer was just ridiculous, and that's what upset me the most.
I talked to some Australians.
Such a Marine thing to say. I'm so mad.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, but you talk to an Australian.
Oh yeah, on Omegle. You remember Omegle?
Dude, rip to Omegle. Omegle?
I forgot.
Is it Omegle or
I don't
Omegle?
know. This is whatever my drunk mouth said at the time.
Oma.
Oma. But no, me and Brian talked to this Australian dude for like hours one time. And they don't even like Foster's.
Really?
Yeah, it's like piss.
I mean, it does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyone out there, if you're drinking a Foster's right now and you're spitting it out on your
Anybody out there who
wife
says,
beater, that's not white anymore. Off yellow. You know the look I'm talking about? That overly washed wife beater?
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
No, it was about beer.
Yes.
See, this is what happens whenever you're dumb. You
I had to look at the camera for that one too. Like, you're dumb.
But no, Australia would be a cool place to go, just because I want to see if it's real. Because I fully believe you just fly around for 15 hours and you're in Florida.
Yeah.
They just take you to the very southern part of Florida, maybe one of those little islands in the Keys, and they say, "All right, Australia," and you're just like, this place is fake."
You're pushing on people. Like, I'm pretty sure this is a cardboard cutout.
Did Australia get any help from like fighting the British, or did they just there? I don't know Australian history.
So my limited American understanding of Australian history was that Australia basically started out as like a penal colony.
Like us.
Essentially, except we were like religious weirdos that they sent overseas.
Yeah, true.
We don't want them here no more.
Yeah.
We were knocking on doors at every hour of the night talking about Jesus, and they were like, no.
Hey, do you want to find Jesus on this other piece of land?
Yeah. Meanwhile, a few hundred years later, Britain's just like, what are we going to do with all these convicts? Let's put them on this island.
Sound like France.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Louisiana.
And Louisiana. The Creole. Oh, God. But yeah, so...
Don't get me started.
This episode would be way too long if we did that. But no, so they sent a lot of prisoners. They had penal colonies and stuff like that in Australia. And then eventually it led to Australia just being like a part of Britain. And then Australian independence, I guess, happened.
Did they fight the British?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think they did. I'm sure some Australian person listening to this is like, I fight the British every day.
Yeah. So are they just walking the walk and not talking the talk?
I think
that's backwards.
Are they just talking the talk but not walking the walk? Yeah. I think Australians in general are just enjoying the fact that they get to be Mad Cat Ripper legends on a daily basis. I know, dude. Like, you know how I would love if someone called me a Ripper legend?
That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
I can't even say it.
Boost up my self-confidence.
Like Ripper legend.
Yeah, a Ripper legend.
Alrighty then.
But Ace Ventura in Australia, make it happen.
I mean, no, he wasn't. Where was he in Pet Detective?
In the first one, he was in the States.
Okay.
In the second one, he was in Africa.
I haven't watched those in.
They're fun.
25 years.
They're
God
fun.
damn.
Man. They're good pizza movies.
I don't like saying that. I haven't seen something in 25 years.
You sound like me.
I don't like that.
You sound like a parent that's never met their child. I haven't seen that boy in 25 years. But
I was about 7 when I watched it. Damn.
I was actually gonna go off of not so much a tangent because it has to do with the fact that you just got back from your trip.
Okay.
I would like to visit a few places in general.
Do it. Tell me.
I want to take my girlfriend with me to Italy.
Oh,
I would love to see it, or Greece.
Hell
you know, that would be really cool because I feel like I would blend in too. Because I look like so many different races. I feel like I could blend in with
almost everywhere.
Yeah, almost everywhere. There's a few places I can.
Anywhere that has black hair.
Yeah, like if I'm in China, probably stick out a little bit. But if I went to Italy, it's just like a hairy. And once I'm in the sun, I actually get naturally dark again. Like.
Same.
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, yeah, he's probably, maybe, I'm sure he's something. Either that or where I would really love to go, anywhere in the Middle East where I'm not in a combat zone. I just want to experience that because I feel like I missed out.
Yeah.
When you're deployed, I'm in Afghanistan, it's like, Afghanistan was visually beautiful and terrible at the same time. Because, like, depending on where you're at in Afghanistan, you'll see, like, mountains and then, like, flat nothing. And then you'll see, like, a river and, like, the one road that runs through Afghanistan that's actually paved. And there's, like, ruins and shit there, Cause,
I don't know because the only picture I've ever seen of Afghanistan was war.
Yeah.
Because before 2001 is when all this shit really happened, right?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
in 4th grade. So I was never introduced to Afghanistan any other way other than terror.
Yeah.
And it was always like news. I always saw bad shit. It wasn't until like a year ago I saw like this little history thing and how beautiful Afghanistan actually is.
Oh yeah, man, it's gorgeous.
Anyway, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna say there's like ruins and shit there from like Alexander the Great.
Oh shit.
Because he actually went in and invaded Afghanistan. I think that's kind of where like his empire ended at because he ended up dying.
Yeah.
So
because it's like impossible.
Yeah. So at one point there were like Macedonian Greek soldiers in Afghanistan. Obviously the British used to like they used to basically, it was like another part of their empire.
Hasn't everybody tried to chip away at
Afghanistan? Yeah. Everyone's not succeeded. The Soviet Union tried to do it. They had their own Vietnam in Afghanistan.
Damn.
Yeah, and no one's really succeeded at it. But it would be very cool. I would love it in the future if some form of peace was achieved in Afghanistan and they actually had some form of like tourism, so you could like just visit and like experience the culture the people and
that's
the
how
sights.
That's how Papa felt about Vietnam.
Yeah,
he said one thing he really wanted to go do and see was to Vietnam because he never got to enjoy it. Because when he was there, he was lost, so he was scared the whole time, and he was also fighting for his life. So yeah, like same aspect as you. Like you just want to see what you missed out on, because while you're there, you do come in contact with these people who live this different life, and you can't like see what they're living because you're the enemy to like people that they're surrounded by or around.
Right.
So you can only like hear stories, and that gets you wondering, like, damn, you know, like we're not so different. Man, I kind of want to know what they're doing in their everyday life.
Yeah. I feel like the easiest way you can change a people's mind and understanding when it comes to other cultures and people in general is to have tourism.
Yeah.
Like if North Korea was still doing the whole North Korean thing and they also had like, hey, but just so you know, if you want to visit, like, just come on in.
Yeah.
Obviously, they wouldn't want that because that would be too many differing views and it would start clashing with the culture there.
Or what they want.
Right.
Or what he wants.
Right. But for some other places like Cuba, I would love it if Cuba had more of a tourism industry with the U.S.
Yeah, because I would love to go to Cuba.
I would love to go to Cuba.
I love all those Latin countries, like from like everywhere.
I'd love to go to Guatemala. I've never been to Guatemala.
I'd love to go to Mexico. Like growing up around a bunch of Mexicans, but like a lot of Mexicans.
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories about how beautiful it is there, but they always end it with, "But I wouldn't go if I were you."
Yeah, you might not want to go. But and that's the worst part of it too. Obviously, you know, with a lot of other countries, and even this country, let's be honest, man. Like, if you're from like Japan and you're visiting New York City,
you don't want to go to.
It's dangerous everywhere.
Well,
dude.
You said New York City, but I was gonna say Detroit.
What? Detroit?
Yeah. Or
well, I don't know.
Certain parts of LA, which LA is all fucking a garbage can. Can I tell you how heartbroken I am about LA being a garbage can?
The floor is yours, my friend.
I used to dream of Californication, like for real.
Really?
I used to think Los Angeles was the pinnacle of America. Like I thought, like there was a moment in my life where I thought LA should have been the capital city,
like the shining beacon.
Yeah, like it should have been the New York City. Like, that's how people should think about LA. And then it wasn't until I got older, and thanks to social media too, and thanks to people who I know who's been there, man, people just shitting on the street and everything. Like, what the fuck? It really breaks my heart.
It really is weird because, and the weird thing is too, you have so many people defending the fact like, well, it's a major metropolitan area, like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I've been to like Tokyo.
Yeah.
I've been to big cities, big huge metropolises basically, and
there's always a section.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
Just a section though.
There's a section. There's an area where you don't want to go there, and everyone knows that. But
the most famous ones,
right? But when a majority of the area is like accessible, and you could just go there at walk there, and you don't have to worry about getting mugged or something, and I don't have to worry about walking in the human refuse, you know. And I'm not saying there aren't homeless people in Tokyo. Yeah, of course there are. There's homeless people everywhere. You could be in a small town of like 1,000 and might have a homeless person or two there. It's just that's how life is, man, and it sucks. But I don't know. I would love to do that though. I would love to really experience some of these places and really get to know the people and the culture and let them know about our people and culture too. You know what I mean? Because I feel like just knowing about somebody else is like
that kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier before we got on the podcast about how I would love to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like that's my type. Like I'm a laid back person.
Yeah.
And I love grooving with the music. And plus, bigger people are light more. And these is it Polynesian cultures?
I think it would be Polynesian.
Well, I'm also like including like when I say Hawaii, I mean like everywhere in the Pacific.
You're talking about like native islanders.
Yeah. Like I would love to start in Hawaii. Of course, it's probably the most accessible to get to, easiest because it's within the states. But like even
language wise too.
Yeah, that too. And like, but I would love to go like to Samoa.
Oh.
And I would love that. I would love to get like a traditional tattoo.
Dude, you're talking about like an actual.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. Because I remember when I was in Japan, you'd have like a few Marines that would get the traditional Japanese tattoos.
Which I want to do that too.
It's a process, man. I remember when I went in with my friend to get his done, I was there for 3 hours, and there was a kid there that was like the son of one of the tattoo artists, and it was like an off day, so it was Saturday, so he didn't have school, and he was just playing Monster Hunter World, or one of the Monster Hunter games, and I never experienced Monster Hunter, so I was just watching him as he's just like, I'm like, yeah, dude, get it.
Man.
But it looked sick, and the worst part was though, he was like, yeah man, this is the 5th time, so I only got like 3 more and I'll be done with this piece.
Damn.
I was like, what? Excuse me? Alright. I asked him how much it cost him too. He's like, I'm up to around like $1,200 on it so far. For a tattoo? Bro, I'll paint on you for free.
Did it look good though?
Yeah, it looks sick. It was this really cool design. It was like samurai, and it was like the old like Japanese style. So it had like the cool face and everything like that. But it was going off of his shoulder into his lower back area. Oh, that's cool. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
That's really cool. I would love to get like a little piece of tattoo from like every culture.
Yeah, that would be interesting, actually. You go visit, like, the Swedes, and you get, like, a cool Swedish...
You want to know something crazy that I got told that made me think about, talking about cultures and everything? Whenever we was in Nassau, and the lady, Miss Sandra, whenever she asked me if I wanted braids, I was like, no, I don't want none. That's offensive. And she said, honey, that's only offensive in America. And
I was going to say, that kind of makes sense.
And she was like, and here is part of the culture.
I mean, you got long hair, dude. You might as well. It's like if I went and I was there and they were like, do you want braids? I'd probably just point out my head and be like, I mean, I would love them.
I wish my beard was longer. I would like got my beard.
Braid your beard?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I could have done that. Well,
Almost.
Getting there. Another 2 weeks probably for my facial hair growth. It'll be braidable.
I would love to just go to... So, I've been on a history kick lately.
Oh, cool.
And...
Right on my alley.
Anybody who knows me knows I love history, but there'll be moments where I'm just like hyper fixated on certain things.
Like a specific time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And lately it's been like World War II and shit like that.
Oh, nice.
I forgot where I was getting at.
Was it just something revolving around World War II?
Yeah, maybe.
You wanted to visit?
Maybe. That shit's sad.
What?
Now that I'm thinking about World War II, it's sad.
It's pretty sad. Dude. It wasn't a good series of events that happened.
Like the war in the Pacific, Pacific War, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, call it the Pacific War.
Just in like human casualties. This is just the Pacific War, not Hiroshima, Nagasaki.
Yeah.
Not anything happening in Europe, not anything that the Nazis were doing to the Russians. Just Pacific. Around 2 or 3 million people died.
Yeah.
Million.
Yeah.
This is without an atom bomb.
Yeah. It's crazy. The amount of human life that was lost during World War II as a whole.
It's wild.
It makes you feel sick to your stomach.
I had a pulse.
Right. Like, you had like a realization.
I just sat back and I was like, no. And I started doing the math and everything because it said 230,000 soldiers lost their lives on this battle.
Yeah.
And I think about the other battle, which is about the same, and the other ones. I got to
Yeah.
thinking, and I was like,
I mean, I'm trying to remember the casualties in Okinawa, like the Battle of Okinawa, which was like one of the last major battles in the Pacific front.
Which that one was crazy too.
That was crazy.
I
That was one of the
didn't know-
largest islands.
Yeah, I didn't know like how it started out.
It was bad. It was bad. So the cool thing was because, well, there's nothing cool about it, but the interesting thing
People
is
like
that,
history. It's school, yeah.
Well, yeah, because
I
in boot
understand.
camp they teach us about Marine Corps history, and obviously that covers a lot of the Pacific Front.
Yeah.
And we went over the Battle of Okinawa, and you're just hearing like all these crazy stories, and you're just like, it can't be. It couldn't have been like that. And then we have bases in Okinawa, and there's still like memorial museums in Okinawa about what happened and everything like that. And you can go visit them. I mean, I went to the Peace Museum in Hiroshima on mainland Japan, and it's crazy, man. Like you still have what's left of like City Hall. They just kept that there.
I feel like that would feel so heavy.
It is. There's like this
Especially being an
oppressive-
American.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and at the same time, it's just like the realization of, wow, we really don't need to be using these things. These things are pretty bad, guys. Like, at what cost are we doing this? I mean, and the worst part of it was like when you think about just the logistics of the bombs that were dropped, and they weren't even that big compared to what we use now. It's like, it bothers me because it's like, why are you trying to make a nuke more powerful? Like, hey, you know this thing that's capable of like killing tens of thousands instantly and like slowly killing another 100 or 200,000 and then destroying the land around it to where you can't settle on it for hundreds of years, possibly decades, maybe if you're lucky. Let's make it bigger. Let's try to. I want to cover at least a tri-state area with one bomb. Dog, you ain't got to do that, man. Like it's insane, but I don't know. This has been a very interesting podcast episode.
That goes back to Fallout, man.
Yeah,
War never changes.
it doesn't.
It's always
Thanks, Ron Perlman.
it's always fault by the people who fault by pawns, really.
Yeah.
Imagine instead of war, leaders just fought each other hand to hand.
You know, that was actually a quote in All Quiet on the Western Front in the book. They have a conversation. The German soldiers are having a conversation how they would love how war would be handled in the future, where you basically have your world leaders that want to go to war with each other, and you put them in a ring with clubs, and they just beat each other to death, and whoever wins that war. And
Or at very least have a proxy fighter.
yeah, like a proxy warrior.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones kind of style.
Yeah.
Man. That would be interesting.
Just no more civilian lives lost.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be a soldier, fine.
Yeah, but we get it. That's cool. I was in the military too, dude. I understand. You know, you want to serve your country and everything like that. Or maybe you just want to go to school.
Let's meet back on the field.
Yeah, man. You know, getting a nice little fist fight, good old fashioned butt kicking, you know. You might lose, you might win, but you live to fight another day, dude. Learn from your mistakes, maybe. Maybe even have a beer with the person that was like trying to beat the hell out of you.
But you know, war has kind of brought forth this topic, like about cultures. Like we wouldn't know a lot of cultures if it wasn't for war. That's the sad thing about it. The sad, like going back to history, a lot of like colonialism,
Yeah.
and war, like just attacking people, really opens up to other horizons. It's a double-bladed sword, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad coming in there. Well, hold on, let's take it back. The things you gain, like the knowledge you gain from other countries and other cultures by invading them, has helped humanity, I think. It's a very long process, but I think eventually, maybe thousands of years, because humans are very fucking stubborn. Maybe in 1,000 years, we have enough grasp and everybody can be one. Who knows, man? I don't know.
I don't know either, man. I feel like at the end of the day,
I was cooking with that, and then I let it burn.
Cooking.
Then I let it burn.
I'm sorry. No, you make a great point though, because me personally, I'm more of like a trade, commerce, culture exchange kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, hey, let's do business with each other. And then you end up having people from both countries.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That natural, well, it feels natural at least.
That's a better way to do it.
That would be, yeah. Because you're not having to, like, you know,
hurt
pillage or mess up anything. But you do make a good point. I mean, in ancient times, a lot of anything being gained, whether it was science, whether it was medicine, whether it was economy, just anything, any type of development, a lot of that was fueled by not only industry, but also through war and acts of aggression, you know? I like to think that we've become better, but I feel like at the same time, I feel like sometimes we're just as bad as we were 1,000 years ago. We just have like a nicer way to spin the story now, you know?
I think social media's helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Like.
Which we're utilizing it, so.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm able to go follow somebody from, like, okay, there are these people in South Korea that I would watch a lot, but it's how they work, and they work differently, but they work kind of the same, and it made me think, like, okay, they also have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
You got that grind, dog.
And go out
South
there
Korean
and
hustle.
just lay up, like, just pick up wood and lay it to the side, like, okay, I've been there. But no, so I think that's about it.
Yeah.
But I just kind of want to visit everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's all visit everywhere. And in fact, if you're listening to this, if you made it this far, I'd love to know if you've been anywhere in particular. Tell me a little story, man. Put it in the comments.
And also, this is not talking about other countries either. Like, America is huge.
It is. It's a pretty big place.
Like, you can go anywhere that you want to in America and see anything. You want to see desert? Got it. Ocean? Got it.
Yep.
Snowy mountains? Got it.
Desert wastelands? Got it. Arizona. Just that state.
So if you've been anywhere too, like within the states, comment below. Let us know.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know if you've seen a moose.
A moose.
Just one moose. That's all I want.
Scary.
Terrifying. Horrid animal.
Oh, guys. Well, we'll catch you on the next episode. It has been good catching up with y'all, and we hope that y'all have a great rest of the week.
Yeah. Stay cool, guys. Thanks. Bye.